how did you, bring in the team? What were the considerations? But then also from, what are you going to do in-house versus with a partner? Because you've had a managed services partner there. What did that look like for you coming into that?
Yeah, it was, I really had to look at what was, to my point earlier, the CMDB and ITOM being really just a core foundational element of ServiceNow. I always call it sort of the backbone of the platform. Having a CMDB, right, it helps you tremendously. You're able to get more insight and vision. You're able to be more proactive instead of reactive. And by that, I mean, when I'm opening an incident or I'm opening a change, if I don't have a CMDB and I understand the relationship of all the infrastructure that we have, I have no idea what the upstream and downstream impacts of the things I'm doing are. We can implement a change and it may bring down a bunch of other things, right? Which are going to create a bunch of major incidents and cause a lot of problems. And so with a managed service partner, right, we can leverage things like an administrator. I hate to say this, but administrators a lot of times come and go. You start promoting, I know like where I've been before, you bring somebody in and they start out sort of as a junior administrator on the platform. They learn the ropes, and after a year, they're already looking for, other places that are going to pay them well to be more of an experienced ServiceNow administrator. And so you go through that cycle pretty regularly, sometimes of those junior types of roles. And looking at that, right, having administrators or even developers handle the managed services perspective, but knowing how key the ITOM and the CMDB component is, and knowing that that's kind of a lifelong journey on the platform as you continue to grow, I needed to find somebody, as you talk about the team, somebody that worked for us at AES, that was kind of that full-time role and that responsibility, that was the ITOM CMDB architect that had experience doing that specifically within ServiceNow. And so I'd start working internally on saying, hey, this is a very important resource for us, and ensuring that we had, the necessary budget to bring that person in. And I think that was the first role that I brought into the organization. And we had somebody here that's been here for a while as well that I've kind of moved into that lead ServiceNow administrative role. But the rest of it, from the rest of the administration and the rest of the development, is really done through managed services with our oversight, right? We have kind of a Scrum Master type thing that takes place where we go through biweekly sprints and we look at the backlog. We call it the Enhancement Advisory Board. But within that, right, we have people from the SMO here at AES on the incident side, the problem, the change, service catalog, HR, the other areas as well. And we look at the intake of those stories and enhancements that are coming into the platform, and we basically gatekeep and say, does it make sense for us to proceed with this? Is it going to create technical debt, going forward? And we work closely with the managed services side, right? They're also a part of those conversations to say, these are the things that we think you should be taking on this month. These are the things that we're going to say no to. And then strategizing with them to say, we think it's going to take about this many points or this many hours of development, and making sure we're aligned, right? So that we're keeping things within the guardrails of what our managed services allow on a month-to-month basis.